This video I am going to show you how to stretch a canvas. I used to do the poured paintings and I don't do them anymore, and I really hate all the ones that I did, so I ripped all the canvases off my frames, and now I am ready to put new canvas on the frames. So I am going to show you how I do that. I have all the supplies here that I need. I have a huge sheet of canvas. So this is 12 cotton duck, which is smoother than 10 cotton duck, so it'll give a nice flat surface. And then I have my empty frame. And one thing to know about frames is this is the part that gets laid down on the canvas face down, and then you're going to wrap it over so you see it has a little ledge here. So that is the front of the canvas, the other side's the back. So I'm just going to lay it down the way I need it. You're going to need a ruler. I have a Sharpie. I have this little tool that removes the staples if I don't like where I put them, and this that'll pull the staple out, the pliers, some staples, and the staple gun, and then the stretcher, the canvas pliers. And so these have like a little ledge on the end, and so it's that ledge that gives you the leverage to pull the canvas tighter. Actually, I always do it the opposite way. So what I'm using here is a gallery wrapped canvas, so it has the 1.5 inch thickness. So in order to wrap the canvas around, you're going to need 3 extra inches on each side. So let's see, for instance, this is a 24-inch frame, so I'm going to need it to be 30 inches. And then, sorry about that, and this is 30 inches, so it's going to be 36 by 30. So I am just going to put this on high speed and cut it out. Okay, so once you have your piece of canvas cut out, you want to lay the frame on top of the canvas with that ridge side, the ridge side down, and the back of the canvas is up. Make sure it's sitting squarely in the fabric and even on all sides. The first thing you're going to do, and I think I'm almost out of staples here, so I'm just going to refill. The first thing you want to do is pick a side and start by putting a staple in the middle. And fold it over, staple. You're going to flip it 180 degrees. It kind of gets awkward when it's a big canvas. And this is where you need your stretcher pliers. You're going to apply some force, put your finger in the spot where you want your staple, hold that down, and then turn it 90 degrees and do the same thing. So I am just pulling a little bit, trying to get it nice and tight. Hold it with my finger, staple, and now I have one on each side. And I'm going to start and put one on each side of here, and you want to space them about 1.5 inches apart. you put your stretcher pliers on and you're pulling, make sure you're about an inch and a half away from the previous staple, or else you're going to pull it out. And the ridge side goes down, and I'm holding it away from myself like this. The ridge gives you some leverage to pull it tighter. If you hear like a squeaking sound when you're doing this, it means you've pulled your staple out of the wood. I'm going to turn it 90 degrees and oops. Turn it 80 degrees, and then I will have 3 on each side after this. Okay, I want to give you another view of the stretcher pliers and how I'm using them, and I'm just going to check and make sure you can see well. So what I'm going to do is come from this side, so you can see how I'm doing it from here. So I am clamping down on the canvas and using the board as leverage, pulling it tight, and putting a staple in. Try it again. It's kind of awkward from this angle for me. So hopefully you have a good idea on how that's done. So you're using the ridge as leverage, pulling, putting your finger down to hold it steady, hold it in place, and then put the staple. Okay, so now I'm going to speed this up and get all the way through till I get to the corners, and then I will slow it down again. Okay, so now I've gotten to the point where I got to start thinking about the corners, and what you want is, I'll show an example, a small one here, is you want the canvas sides to be folded in the same direction, like in here and in here. You don't want each corner going a different direction, so that you'll have one side that's completely flat, and then one side that has the little triangles. So usually the side with the triangles will be your short side, and the completely flat side will be your long side. This happens to be square, so it didn't matter. So on this one, on my long side, what I do, well, actually, let me start with the short side. So on the short side, I pull the canvas in towards the short side, and I put a staple right at the very edge there. And I'll do this on all 4 ends. So I'm just pulling the canvas in as tight as I can towards the short side. And do that on all four sides. So pulling it tightly. This little staple here helps so much when you're making your corners. So I'm going to pull this, put a staple right near the edge. Okay, now what I'm going to do on all the long sides is come all the way up and put a staple right where this, right where the 45-degree angle is right here. So you can use your pliers to pull it tight. And I'm pulling it towards myself, so it's kind of awkward. So I'm going to put a staple here at this 45-degree angle here. And do that on all four sides. As tight as I can. And again, this is going to help so much when you go to fold your corners. Okay, so now that you have all those staples in, you're going to see how I have it folded like this, and then you're going to fold it up like that, and then you can use, you want to make sure that everything is tucked in and not flapping over the side. So whatever you got to do to tuck that in, and then pull as hard as you can and put your staples in. And I just put a whole line in. And then here on this side, I'm going to do the same thing. Tuck. And on your short side, you want about 1.5 inches from the 90-degree angle here for your last staple, or else you will not be able to tuck that in. Okay, so we got one side done. Let's go to this corner. So you just want to make sure everything's tucked in nicely and pulled as tight as you can. And I don't really, yeah, that looks a little bit better. And then our last corner, sometimes it just doesn't want to tuck. There we go. Pull as tight as you can. And there you go. So what I have is just a really tight canvas. Sounds like a drum. Perfection.